A few weeks ago, I assumed the same thing as most people in society do, that sheep are dumb. Sheep get that societal reputation. I remember the movie Babe. I used to like that movie growing up as a kid. In the film, you have a sheepdog, the patriarch of the family, named Rex. Rex is bitter and angry all the time. Babe later finds out that the reason he hates sheep is because one time the sheep were running into a body of water. Rex tried to get them out. He saved some of them, but others drowned. In doing that, he became deaf because of the water when he went under the water to save some of the sheep. The basic premise is that sheep need to be led, that sheep are dumb. And even when Babe is on TV herding the sheep, you can hear how stupid the film portrays them as. Even our first president, George Washington, said that if we get rid of freedom of speech, the people will end up like sheep to the slaughter. The biggest way that we see this is by the way that we use that term, typically in a derogatory context. Typically, we assign the term sheep to describe a person or a group of people who are dumb, gullible, and mindless followers. I thought this for the longest time until I was reading the scriptures, specifically Psalm 23. As I was meditating, as I was applying the scripture to my life, I noticed how it talked about that the sheep knows the shepherd's voice. I started looking into how a sheep can distinguish the voice of its shepherd from voices of other people. This reminded me of a time when I was younger. When I was younger, I wanted a dog like every kid does, so my parents decided to get me one. When I was waiting on the lady to come out and bring the puppies, I talked a little bit to an old farmer, her husband. It was an older couple. While we were waiting, he asked me if I wanted to see the sheep. I thought that might be cool, so I said yes. He then proceeded to ask me to call for the sheep. I made a sound, nothing happened. He did the same thing, and the sheep ran to the fence. Of course, I was about 11 or 12, so I didn't really think cognitively about the situation. But when I was reading that psalm, it made me go back to that. Then I started looking into sheep. I found out, surprisingly, that they are not dumb and gullible. They actually are surprisingly intelligent. They have impressive memory and recognition skills. They build friendships, and they even stick up for one another in fights. When their friend is gone to go to the slaughter, they feel sadness. They feel a wide range of emotion. I just assumed they were mindless vassals. There was a 2001 study by Keith Kendrick. He found that sheep can recognize and remember at least 50 individual faces for more than 2 years. That is more than most humans, and longer. Caroline Lee in Australia studied sheep intelligence. She discovered that sheep can learn to navigate out of a complex maze. Now, the way that she did this is she would get a sheep, put them inside of the maze, get another sheep, put them on the outside of the maze that knew that sheep, they were a friend or lover or whatnot, whatever, and it would motivate that sheep to find a way out of the maze. It is crazy to think that because of its societal reputation that we assume sheep are dumb, sheep are stupid, and we use that as a derogatory term. Next time somebody calls me a sheep, I'm going to say thank you. It's better than being a cow, it's better than being a chicken, and it's certainly better than being you who doesn't know how intelligent sheep really are.